This is weird. If you're watching this video when it first comes out, I'm releasing it 4 hours after I stopped doing my 24-hour charity live stream for the National Autistic Society. So I imagine in real life I'm fast asleep right now, but in my world, I'm in the past, transmitting this message to the future. So let's assume it was a good live stream. It lasted the full 24 hours without issues. We raised, let's say, £1,000 for the National Autistic Society. The link to the Just Giving page is down in the description to this video. So if you want to check those facts I'm giving you, if we weren't quite there and you feel like pushing us over the edge towards £1,000, that would be ace. Don't feel like because you missed the stream you can't donate now. And if you didn't miss a stream, good. Thanks for the support. But I don't know. I don't like recording episodes in advance like this. It's weird. Get on with the video. Hello and welcome to part 11 of Backing the Boro. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we're at home against both York and Chorley in the Vanarama National League North. Since you were last with me, form is all over the place, as it has been. I mean, in the league, it's actually been pretty devastatingly poor recently. Let's not sugarcoat it at all. We've won 1 game in 10 in the league, and our league position is pitiful because of it. We're down in 12th place. We're only 3 points outside of the playoffs still, but it's not looking great for us. Now, there has been discussion in the comments about my midfield and about the fact that I perhaps need to do that. So I'm going to do that. Or should he even be on defend? I feel weird having a central midfielder on defend with 3 at the back, but maybe have him on defend, him on support, because then we've got the front 3 doing what they do. So I'm making that tactical change. I'm doing it now, and I'm hoping that's going to make a difference for today's game, because we need to start turning this season around. We can't have a third season down in the Conference North, because we're never going to make it to the Champions League. This is why I don't do Road to Glories. They're too hard. Oh. Interestingly, I have been offered about 4 or 5 interviews now for other jobs. Obviously, I'm not taking them because in this save, we are with Nuneaton until the save ends. Whether that's with Champions League glory or whether it's with a sacking, we are going to be with Nuneaton until the bitter end. But it's nice to feel wanted. There's conference national clubs who are impressed by my performance at Nuneaton over the last year and a half, and have decided that, I mean, this is how Nodding to Legend normally works. The other series that we run, because you don't have to do well to get the promotion up to the next level. You just have to survive, and then someone from above will swoop down and rescue you. So this is our team. We've got Linus in goal, a back 3 of Diane, Erkalani and Clark, with Lewis and Elliott as our wing-backs. George now in his newfound deep-lying playmaker role on defend, which he's not done for us before, but apparently is quite good at. Salmon's central midfield and support, and then Nicholson in behind Rocker and Chambers, who've both gone off the boil a little bit. Chambers has had a bit of an injury. He was out for a little while. Nixon came in, but then he got injured. Nixon played 1 game, scored 2 goals, got injured and went off again. I mean, it was bizarre, his contribution to the team this year. So we've struggled a little bit while Chambers has been injured. But Rocker as well isn't scoring goals as consistently as he was before. And both of them they're going through little dry patches, which hopefully today we see the end of. With that slight tweak in midfield, just make us a little bit more solid. I just worry that it's going to stop AJ George getting as involved as he has been further forward, because he's on the verge of winning our club record for man of the matches in a season. He's been an absolute star since bursting into the team, forcing El Bekri out. We all knew El Bekri was a bit of a star, but AJ George is an even bigger star, and I am a little bit worried about taking him out of the game further forward and it just reducing our goals even more. Chambers should have scored. Chambers earlier in the season would have scored that. A couple of people in the comments earlier in the week were saying that the reason he's playing at this level is because he'll have games where he looks like an absolute world beater and he'll score a hat-trick. Then he'll have other games where he just can't shoot straight. Salmon's just put us 1-0 up, and that's massively important. Look how far that propels us up the league if it stays like this. It puts us all the way back up to 8th place, challenging for the playoffs again. It's such a tight league this year, like it is every year down at this level, really. It's all teams, similar to what we were just saying about Chambers, all teams at this level, apart from Kidderminster apparently, but all teams at this level struggle for consistency. Clark's made it 2-0 and everything's going right again now. What a tactical genius I am, coming up with the deep line playmaker thing all on my own. But because teams struggle for consistency, you can go on these horrible, horrible runs like the one we've just gone on, and it's not ruined our season. We're supposed to finish mid-table. We're still in mid-table now. We've got aspirations of maybe sneaking into the playoffs, and we're still well within touching distance of doing that, despite a run of relegation form for more than half the season, really. We're 19 games in, and our last 10 games we've won once. So for more than half the season, we've been absolutely terrible. And partly because of that really strong start, and partly because of how weird the league is at this level, we're still on target to do what we're supposed to do this season. And that's why I love non-league. There you go. We've seen the good and the bad of being down at this level in this episode. We've got all the job hunting stuff and things that I'm not allowed to do. But then at least it's really hard to mess up completely. I mean, that's the kiss of death. Sacked in 3 episodes now. Now I've said that, I can't possibly get fired in the National League North. I'm assuming none of you lot also watch Non-League to Legend. Although, to be fair, I didn't get fired by Alfreton either. I moved on to bigger and better things. But I did jump before I was pushed. But I'm guessing you all probably watch that one as well. And if not, you should. It's also on this channel. At the moment, it's the one with the black thumbnails with the red bar on. You should check that out. Talking of things that you should check out, I am, as I said on the intro, I'm speaking to you from the past. So as of right now, not only has my Christmas Challenge FM mobile series not started yet, I've also not started recording it yet. So I'm taking a bit of a risk and forcing myself into going and doing it today by reminding you at this point to go check it out if you haven't checked it out yet. I think it's lots of fun. I haven't recorded it yet, I don't know. But what I've got planned seems fun. So hopefully I did manage to get out and about. I did manage to record it and I did manage to get it uploaded. And if I did, it's going to be out at 10 o'clock every day throughout Advent. If I didn't, forget all this. Technical issues, and I'll explain them to you in the comments if you really want to know about them. But let's assume that series has been out for the last 3 mornings. Is it the 3rd of December now in your world? So yay for Advent series and yay for Football Manager Mobile. You lot wanted me to do it, so goodness me, are we now doing it? Is this game over yet? I haven't got anything else I can advertise. I do a vlog, write a book, podcasts. Don't know. Not even got any shirts to sell you at the moment. I've got there's shirts as well. Oh, forget all of that. Just watch the streams and you'll know about the shirts. I'm not really going to plug everything anymore. That was it. Let's just try and win this football match. Which, are we going to score a third? We only blooming are. Jordan Nicholson makes it 3-0. He looked very offside, but the linesman's all the way back here. He hasn't got a clue what's going on. We somehow had, they're obviously gone to a very attacking or overload type system because we've got these 2 players who were just stood there. Either of them could have tucked that away, and it was Nicholson who did. It's 3-0. And all of a sudden, we look pretty good again. Where are York? York are actually above us in the league as well. It's not that we're just playing against someone who's not very good. York are one of the better teams in this division, one of our playoff rivals, and we've absolutely spanked them today. And I think that's marvellous. Are we going to grab a 4th? No, we're not. Of course we're not. We don't need a 4th. What we need is to save some goals for our next game. We've slipped back down to 10th again somehow, but we are only 1 point outside of the playoffs again now. So fingers crossed we can get back-to-back wins on this episode and celebrate the end of 2018 with being in a playoff position. Little bit of transfer news before we get into the next game. It is just 2 extra players that we've released. How do we even see who we've released? I know I just released 2 released players. There we go. So Joel Dielner, who played quite a few games for us last year, hasn't been in the team at all this year because he can't play wing-back. Although apparently he can, but he really can't play wing-back. He's gone because both of these 2 were moaning on the Dynamics page that they weren't getting any football. Michael Tweed, I would have liked to have kept around because he was a promising youngster, but his contract expired in the summer. We were still paying him £160 a week, and then he was starting to cause trouble for my Dynamics. So got rid of those 2. Just as they leave, Khalid Mohammed then decides he's in a grumpy. He wants to go out alone because he's not getting football. But we're trying to minimise the amount of people with issues. Lancaster's a bit of a problem because he's not going to get regular football for us because he plays in Jordan Nicholson's position, and when Nicholson was injured he played 5 games and was rubbish. So I think we might need to move him on. We're paying him quite a lot of money to just sort of sit in our reserves and cause trouble, But on the whole, the dynamics is looking rather splendid. We still don't have a team leader. Nicholson was up there when he was captain end of last year, early this year. But since Clark's taken over as captain, Nicholson's dropped down. Clark's gone up to highly influential. And we do have a whole bunch of people who support me, which a few of you have asked to see that screen, which is ace. So, no changes to the team for the Chorley game. There's no reason to make any changes. We won convincingly against York, and hopefully we'll carry on that theme into this game against Chorley and grab another win and secure a spot in the playoffs. Well, not secure a spot in the playoffs, but move up into the playoffs, because at the moment, despite the win, we're back down in 10th place again, because I guess other teams around us were rude and decided to win as well. But a win against Chorley puts us just 1 point behind them, and they're up in 5th at the moment. So I'd like to think, from where we were, back-to-back wins on this episode should move us up into the playoff spots. Where are we? 18th of December, so just as we go into the Christmas period. And then we could hit that halfway point on 21 games in a playoff spot, which would be terrific. Elliott makes a good tackle there, and I think this might actually end up being our highlight. I thought it was going to be theirs, but Chambers was so quick to intercept that we didn't even see him do it. He was hiding behind their formation. Elliott, we've dropped a little bit deep again here with George, who picks out Lewis, who's in miles of space, but decides to just wait to be tackled and then kick their man after he tackles him. I don't understand what that highlight was, because there was no shot as part of it. That was just weird. So, 15 minutes in, we get another highlight. I can't say the word 15 anymore. Right, Rocker knocks it back to Salmons. Lewis is in space again. This time actually does get the cross in, and Chambers is there. And it's a lovely header. This is exactly what we were talking about with him from the last game. He looked really, really poor against York. But that is an absolutely cracking header. And Lewis, maybe learning from his mistake the first time, just one touch, gives himself space to cross. And that is a bullet header from Ashley Chambers. And more of that, please, because that's very splendid. So that does move us up to 7th place. Still only inside the playoffs on goal difference, I think, but inside the playoffs nonetheless. And inside the playoffs is where the cool kids hang. That's where we want to be. George is dropping very, very deep now. He's a deep-lying playmaker on defend. I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, though, because it seems to be giving him a lot more space to have more of an influence on the game, and we're kind of playing almost with a little triangle in the midfield, which we're getting space for everyone to have a little bit of time on the ball and knock it around, and Nicholson should have scored there. I mean, I'm no criticism to him, because he had no right to hit the ball like that at this level, but it hits the inside of the post and bounces back out again. The move deserved better, because the three central midfielders all sort of passing it around really nicely between them. I was impressed. I quite like this. Why didn't we change this midfield a little bit earlier? If there's anything else I should be changing about my team, let me know down in the comments. I do read them. I do take most of it on board. Sometimes I just disagree, which is why I don't change anything, though. But if you say something that actually makes sense, like this whole thing with the big gap we were leaving behind our midfield, then I'm absolutely going to change that. One of the other solutions to the gap was making one of the centre-backs a stopper. I decided against that one, because that just seems like rather than being secure defensively, we're telling one of our defenders to just push a little bit too far on and leave gaps behind him. And I don't know, that seemed a little bit counterintuitive to me. But dropping George back does seem to have had the desired effect. What it does mean is there's very little way back into the team for El Bekri now, because he can't really do that. He's an attacking playmaker, which is why that position was already set up like that, and George just kind of took it from him. Right, Rocker's in behind now. What a finish from Elliott Rocker. That move came from nowhere. I don't even know who the through ball was from. Was it Nicholson? Or Salmons plays on that left-hand side of midfield. I think it might have been Salmons, actually. So no, it is Nicholson. Of course it's Jordan Nicholson. They've given him space to pick a pass, and that's exactly what he does. And I think we probably all thought Rocker's squaring that to Chambers, and it probably would have led to a goal if he did. But Elliott Rocker has got his confidence back, 2-0, and somehow we've fallen out of the playoff spots again. All that talk about at this level, you get a couple of wins, you're right back in the mix. Well, here you go. Here's our couple of wins. We're still not back up into the playoffs. Right. Trotman comes on for Elliott. And we will try El Bekri on for George. We just said he wasn't able to do it. But, I mean, he can sort of do it. He did it for us for a bit last year, if I recall. And we'll also bring Joey Jones on for Diane at the back. We're not going to change either of the front two. While they're playing well and scoring goals, we want to keep them on there, grab another one each, get them back into some kind of form, because we did struggle when they weren't scoring. El Beckery, we know, can hit a beautiful free kick, and he finds Clark, and it's just wide. Kenny Clark is a massive threat from set pieces as well, especially when El Beckery's on the pitch, because El Beckery can really hit a free kick or a corner. Plays Nicholson in beautifully, and Jordan Nicholson has had an incredible game and deserves a goal today. He has been absolutely superb. I don't know how he's only on a 7.1. He's involved in every highlight, every attacking move that we're a part of. Jordan Nicholson is pulling the strings for, and that's exactly why Jack Lancaster, who we looked at before, I think he's called Jack, that's why he's not getting in the team, because he wasn't doing that when Nicholson was injured. He was just kind of an extra body in the attack, whereas Nicholson is just everywhere and involved with everything. Right, good work, assistant manager, for all that red. So, we are in the playoff spots as we end the episode. So back up into 7th place, 12 points off the top of the league. Automatic promotion is probably gone already, but a playoff finish is well within our capabilities, and we need a strong second half of the season to achieve that, and that's what we want to do. If you've enjoyed today's video, please make sure you pop a nice big thumbs up on there for me. As I said before, if you haven't yet checked out the charity live stream, or at least the Just Giving page, it's for a good cause. The details are down in the description. I would appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel for brand new Football Manager videos, 4 PM, 9 PM every day. And thank you very much for watching. That was a lot of thumbs ups at the end there. Hopefully you'll do the same.